I would be remiss if we did not at least for just a moment talk a little bit about what's taking place right now in Israel. I know that you've got your ear to the ground on that. And in fact, there are a lot of sources that you have that are on the ground right now in Tel Aviv, as well as very, very close to the situation in Gaza, and understand some of the intel of what's happening and even the negotiations right now ongoing, hostages being released, many more, all expected to be released. But I wanted you to talk a little bit about that and that passing of the torch. I know Biden wanted to take credit for this. Clearly, he had nothing to do with it because it would have gotten done 15 months ago. But talk a little bit about what you're seeing and what you understand to be happening.
Well, first of all, we all know that saying, the fog of war. Well, the fog of war is more than what's on the battlefield itself. The fog of war is in the elements of politics. And if I can put it this way, negotiation and politicking. So having said that, Ryan, this thing is huge. This thing is massive. There's so many tentacles and so many people involved in what's going on with their own interest. For example, you would think that the quote deep state, right, is limited to America. Well, Israel's going through its purge right now of deep state. They didn't know. They didn't know until their October 7th of 2023 that they had very, very deep state personnel in very, very high levels. Much like what we went through here, Israel has gone through a little bit of it, but they're going through more of it right now. There are people, for example, you might be referring to this, that just before Trump was sworn into office, there were certain high-level Israeli Defense Force personnel in high-ranking positions that immediately retired. They surrendered their career back to the IDF. Extremely odd, but not for those who have had their finger on the pulse, because behind the scenes there was the same kind of stuff that we've been going through. Now, you said it correctly. Biden, Harris tried to jump in and say that they're responsible for the ceasefire situation. It's not true. It's not true at all, ladies and gentlemen. It's the fact that just like back in 2016, Trump, whatever you think about Trump, your own opinion is irrelevant. The Middle East, sorry to say this, you guys, but if you've not been there, if you've not lived there, you don't know this. The Middle East does not respond to anything but power. It's the way they've lived for
That's right.
5,000 years. I don't like it. You don't like it, but it's the way that it is. And they fear Donald Trump. They fear him because he's unpredictable. They fear him because the last time he was in office, he did something within 17 days of his presidency, ladies and gentlemen. Go back and look what I'm talking about. And so the situation with Netanyahu remarkably surviving all of these attacks, all of the verbal, all of the political, all of this stuff, there could be an awakening in Israel at a time like this that could mirror what's happening in the United States. And right now, yikes, here it comes. Don't blame this on Ryan, everybody. Blame it on Jack. A lot of the Middle East activity, it's getting their direction from either Erdogan in Turkey or the religious leadership of Iran. Let's be honest, Russia and China, they don't care about Turkey. They don't care about Iran. They're just using those pawns. Bottom line is, both those entities believe, Iran and Turkey, that Allah has called them to establish some form of caliphate. They may differ on how they interpret the Quran, but one thing is certain. They hate Americans, they hate Westerners, but boy, they hate Israel. And to close the crescent moon, every mosque has got a crescent on top. And in Islamic doctrine, when you see it, the closed crescent, when the moon becomes full in Islam, it can only become full in Islam's theology and eschatology when Israel is abolished. That's not going to happen. If you know Joel, Amos, Jeremiah, Isaiah, Ezekiel, it's not going to happen. So people, this is a huge battle. It's not so much blood and guts right now as it has been, but the battles behind the scenes, people are jockeying for power as well as leaving power. And so I believe that the long haul of this may not be very long. It may be soon where we see peace in the Middle East and these bad players put back in their hole because they fear Donald Trump. And it's just a pure fact.
Hey, did you find this helpful? I hope you did. Please like and subscribe, share with a friend, and also go to standingforfreedom.com where you can find more content, articles, podcasts, and our Theology of Politics series, all at standingforfreedom.com.